Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brywell alongside Sean Burdett. And Coach, regular season now has wrapped up, and a nice way to finish things up against Tulane as you come out with 17 wins, a 6-game improvement from your first year.
Yeah, I think, number one, a great way to finish, a great way to send a senior out, but more importantly, I thought a statement win in terms of getting in, getting down to business, and winning 3-0 against a top 60 or so RPI team in the country, and somebody that was in first place in the AAC in the West Division. So really an overall good day, but also a good weekend, even though we came up short a little bit on Friday night.
Sunday, your team looked like they had a lot of energy. They played with a lot of purpose.
Yeah, I think just, again, going in and being in tune with game plan, following it, executing it, and really everybody just clicking on all cylinders. And we've always put together those game plans and everybody understands it, and you get good pieces here and there, and I think everything just really worked well in harmony, and we were able to just, finish off sets, and we were also able to play, certainly lower error, so that helps.
Final regular season weekend, and Hannah gets back on the honor roll.
Yeah, I mean, just a great showing. Finished very, very well to the season. Over 1,000 kills, gets onto the honor roll again. I think that's third time this season for her. That's something that's not just an individual award, although she receives it. I think it's something that is team driven in terms of our ball control, certainly setting, but then also the pressure that our other attackers put on the defenders and blockers for our opponents, and us being able to spread some things out. So she got some really good looks, made a really key swing in the third set after we had a kind of a major delay with a questionable rotational call that everybody was trying to work through, and she came out, put a ball away, and just said, okay, this is our match.
With your turnaround now this year, the 17 wins, might be an outside chance, but you hold out some hope, and there's always an opportunity potentially maybe for an NIVC. You don't know what all they look at, but certainly you've got some nice little bullet points on the resume this year.
Yeah, certainly some great wins, and to be able to make that continual improvement, number of conference wins being better, overall wins certainly being well above 500. Then it comes down to who's accepting and who's declining, things like that. So there's that offset chance that we could get things to trickle down our way. But most importantly, I think just again those building blocks that we've put in place starting last year, and be able to finish off the way we did, and just continue to get better, and then bring in some recruits for next year that will also have I think significant impact.
A couple of those bullet points, whether it happens or not, are pretty impressive. Number one, the 17 wins this year.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can get up to close to that 20, it's phenomenal. And to beat some of the teams that we have, and we really were within a couple points here and there from being above 20 with the number of 5-set matches that we had. And again, we're right there. And I think what we've learned from the season is being able to take care of the ball and not make those errors, and that was certainly the result on Sunday, and getting that 3-0 win. And
something this team's always going to have with it is going to have that best start in school history.
Yeah, that's exciting to look back upon, and you never know how things are going to work out in the beginning of the season, but that's a tough grind as you look back and you're playing 3 and sometimes 4 matches in a weekend, and 3 matches in 24, 36 hours or so. So really credit to Coach Lavatt and what he does in strength and conditioning, and what our players did over the summer, and then getting us prepared. But I thought more than anything this year, we really finished the season strong, and we saw a decline and kind of a dip off last year physically, certainly with the numbers, but this year we maintained strong, and I think that we'll get even stronger as we go through another year of training with them.
I think what coaches want to see is a team improve throughout a season, and this year had a little bit of everything, and you talk about the strong finish. So you get out to the 11-0 start, and then let's face it, they had a little trouble with some adversity, how to react to that. Once they figured things out, then you see over that last 10 matches how they started figuring things out. That's a big part of rebuilding a program, is getting the players to figure out, find someone to go, here's what we've got to do to get things turned around and win matches.
And as much as you warn them how competitive the conference is and how much stronger it could be, you're never really ready for it, especially when you have a number of new players starting for you, whether they're freshmen or transfers. They've never experienced a go-round in the conference. So I think, they hit that little bit of a wall, and we had those 5-set losses, and, we certainly struggled mentally with that. But then I think we were able to certainly, as you said, regroup and then really focus up for that that second part of conference and really turn it up a little bit.
Coach, off the floor, and I'm sure you don't have any like solid information or anything, but you moved into the Finch Center for practice last year. I guess outside chance, maybe you're over there full time next year. Not really sure, but I know that would be probably the ultimate for you right now.
Certainly is the ultimate goal, and we need to see how projects kind of unfold here with new direction and things like that. And we're really excited. We got what's called the chameleon out of there, so an old basketball piece of ramp and stairs and everything that was taken out last week. So we've really opened up the space even more. We can actually put a full additional third court in there if needed. So that's just a little stepping stone for us to continue to make that our own.
I'm sure for you, it's nice to see that place starting to look like the volleyball facility now.
It is, and it's great. It's something that's awesome to go into every day. And I think certainly when recruits come see this space, they are wowed by it, and I think especially when we figure out the number of seats that can go in there competition-wise in that direction, it will just be a facility that will be a very tough place to compete in for opponents.
Well, over the last several years, under the university's leadership across the tracks, and then now with Laird Veach here, you see all the projects going on around the university, whether academic construction projects or athletics. You know that they have a lot of foresight as how to get things done.
I think the vision is second to none, and I always tell recruits and their families, if you go onto a campus and you don't see any construction, you don't see any forward progress, that's when there needs to be a red flag. And certainly you can forego some construction, some dirt and dust issues in the short period and short time for the big vision for the university, both across campus and then athletically as well. And what we're doing here, I think, is second to none. And I think as people come and see what we're building here, and I'm not talking just from a volleyball standpoint, athletically, university-wise, we are a great university, a great institution.
You mentioned talking to recruits about those things, and you've got a couple of signees.
We do. Bailey Houlihan out of Illinois, a libero, backcourt specialist, high motor, big competitor. I think she flew under the radar for some people. We got to see her early on last year and got her into the recruiting process, got to know her and her family well, and that certainly worked out. And then locally, Lauren Robertson from Briarcrest High School, 2 straight state championships, somebody that was recognized as a AVCA All-American at the beginning of the season, somebody that's driven also competitively, but I think more importantly, both of these players are winners. They see the vision of continuing to make the program better, and they're looking forward to the competition to come in.
And finally, Coach, that's the second job you've taken where it's kind of been a rebuild. You did it up north and now here, and sometimes the second year is the more difficult year, but with the improvement and everything this year, this had to be a very pleasant second season.
It is, and it's exciting, and I think there's no day that is alike from another, and they're not cookie cutter, is what I say. And the challenges will always be unique, and we want to meet those head on. And I think the great things here, we've got a great staff, we've got great players, and our student athletes work very hard in the classroom and then certainly on the court, the weight room, all those things. We want to give back to the community. The community has been so involved and so supportive this season and coming out and watching us. I think that is just one of the really neat points of the season, to see at the end this weekend on Friday night and on Sunday, to have our band there and to have people there supporting, and then more importantly having the kids come out of the stands after the matches and ask for autographs, and asking for certain players and things like that. That's one of the neatest things out there.
All right, Coach, it was fun.
Thank you. Appreciate the season.
That is Sean Burdett. I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tigers Network.